Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. This one here, we're going all the way back to 2019, the year before the pandemic. And we're going to kind of go over, what was, some of the best decks. One of the best decks, not some. One of the best decks of the year. And, this was a time period where I actually wasn't playing, I was kind of collecting the cards, here and there, but I wasn't actively playing in the game. And, so I don't really know too much about this format, but this is a format, as well as many of the other Sun and Moon and XY formats I'd love to get to know and play. And had I played, in this format way back then, this is probably the deck that I would have played probably for the whole year or as long as it was out. And, had I attended Worlds that year, right, I probably would have played this as well. Because this is literally right up my alley, I love the play style of it. And overall, I just really like the Pokemon in the deck. So, and it's fire. So if that's not a giveaway, let's get into it, right? So we are playing Reshiram and Charizard GX. So if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you would know that I just love fire types. It's my favorite type in the game. All right, just a lot of cool Pokemon that are fire, right? Charizard, Reshiram, Blaziken, Infernape, right? Houndoom, there's just so many different fire types and so many good ones as well. And yeah, it's my favorite type. So this one here, Reshiram and Charizard, it's a GX. It's a tag team GX, meaning it's worth I think 3 prizes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. It's got 270 HP and 3 attacks. Its first attack. Oh, and by the way, it's got retreat cost of 3, no resistance, and a weakness to water, which is obvious. Its first attack, Outrage, does 30. And it does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. That's for a fire colorless. Its second attack for 3 fires and a colorless. Flare Strike, it does 230. And then this Pokemon can't use Flare Strike during your next turn. So keep in mind that attack resets when something like an escape rope happens. And then it's GX attack, Double Blaze. It does 200. And then if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra fire energy cards attached to it, in addition to this attack's cost, this attack does 100 more damage, and the attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. It does a lot of damage, right? It does 300 damage for like 6 energy. So just an absolute monster of a card. It is the main attacker of the deck. However, we do play some other attackers, right? Like Heatran GX, like Turtonator, and Victini Prism Star. Right? Those are other attackers in the deck. So I'll go right to left this time. Victini there, 90 HP, 1 retreat, no resistance, weakness to water. Its attack there, Infinity. This attack does 20 damage times the number of basic energy cards in your discard pile. Then shuffle those cards into your deck. So this is like a last minute kill, last turn kill, right? You want to do that when your your discard pile is loaded with energy cards. Turtonator, 110 HP, 3 retreat, no resistance and a weakness to fairy. So change a weakness there because it's a dragon type, not a fire type, according to this card. Its attack there for 3 fire explosive jet. Does 50 times. Discard any amount of fire energy card from your energy cards from your Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each card you discarded. So this is great at hitting high numbers, high damage output, right? And it's a single prizer too, which is absolutely awesome. And then a Heatran GX. So, pardon me here. This is what this one does. 190 HP, 3 retreat, no resistance, and a weakness to water. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon, moves from your bench to your active spot, you may move any amount of fire energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. And then its first attack there for 2 fire and a colorless. Steaming Stomp does 130. And then its attack there, its GX attack for a fire, a Hot Burn GX. This attack does 50 times. Times the amount of fire energy cards attached to this Pokemon. So once again, it kind of does the same thing as like Turtonator, right? Does the same thing kind of as Reshiram and Charizard GX, right? It just hits for big numbers. And there you go. That is the attackers of the deck. Now on to the support Pokemon. We got 2 Ninetales and 2 Vulpix. Vulpix there, 60 HP, 1 retreat, no resistance, weakness to fire. Weakness to water. Tail Whip for colorless. Flip coin if hits the defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. It's mainly there to evolve into Ninetales, which has 100 HP, 1 retreat, no resistance, weakness to water. Its attack there, Flame Tail for a fire and 2 colorless. It does 90, which is not too bad at all for a single prizer. But it's mainly there for its ability, which is called 9 Temptations. Once during your turn, you may discard 2 fire energy cards from your hands. If you do, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So this is awesome. This is practically a boss's orders every turn. And it fuels up, that Victini as well, right? Super good card. Next, we have 3 Dedenne GX, right? Everything else here, like on the card, right, doesn't really matter except for the ability, which just says when you play it from your hand onto your bench, you can discard your hand. And if you do, draw till you have 6 cards in your hand. So it just resets your hand, right? You don't really care what you have in your hand. If it's bad, just discard it and get a new 6. Makes sense. Next, we have the last Pokemon, which is for Jirachi. Right, this Jirachi was absolutely amazing. It set up so many decks, mainly there for its Stellar Wish abilities. So this is very similar to the Wishing Star Jirachi from way back then, which was an EX Deoxys. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal a trainer card you find there and put it into your hand. And then shuffle your deck afterward, pardon me. So, like I said, very similar card. And that is it for the Pokemon. Next, onto the trainers. The best trainer in the deck for Welder, and it's the only supporter as well, right? Attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, draw 3 cards. So this is great. You get energy into play faster, and you draw, right? This is literally the best draw card in the deck, right? And don't forget, you play Dedenne as well, so you can draw cards with that. Our stadiums. We play 3 Giant Hearth and a Heat Factory. So Giant Hearth allows you to discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for 2 fire energy cards and put them into your hand. So it's really good, right? Combos really well with Dedenne. You know, if you need to get fire energies in the discard pile for Victini, or for that 9 Temptations ability on Ninetales to get that gust. Heat Factory. Heat Factory is an interesting one. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a fire energy card from their hand if they do draw 3 cards. So it's practically an energy draw from, you know, if you remember way back then in EX Power Keepers or EX Ruby and Sapphire, the Delcatty, right? And then, when any player plays an item or supporter card from his or her hand that, pardon me, it's kind of really hard to read here, and I haven't played this much. Yeah, from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this stadium card. So that means you can't use like a trainer card to, pardon me, an item or a supporter to discard your stadium, right? Which is really good. You're able to lock that in play. And that is the stadiums. Items. For Cherish Ball, we play a lot of GXs in the deck, right? This searches them out. 3 Acro Bike, just a little bit more digging. It's similar to trekking shoes. 3 Pokemon Communication. You can trade in a Pokemon for which Pokemon you need. 3 Super Scoop Up, right? You can return a Pokemon to your hand. 2 Escape Board. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is a colorless lesson and can retreat even if it's affected by asleep or paralyzed. Awesome. We play 2 Switch. And then lastly, a Pal Pad to shuffle our supporters back in the deck, which is obviously Welder, so we want to play that when we have 2 Welder in the discard. And that is it for the items, so really simple, right? Lots of Pokemon searching here. And then lastly, you're probably wondering what energy we play in the deck here. Well, it's super simple. We play fire energy. This is a fire deck, so it makes sense to play fire. 5, 10, 18 fire. So a lot of energy for this deck as we're going to be going through a ton. So we want to have a pretty high amount. This is roughly a third of the deck, right? You can't really make do with like, 13 or 14, right? Or even when you look at today's standard format, the Sword and Shield On format till Crown Zenith, right? A lot of decks are playing like 9, 10, and I know Lugia V-Star is playing like 15, but other decks like Lost Box or Mew VMAX, right? They are playing low counts of energy. Mew, I think, is only playing like 4 or 7, depending on the version that you're playing. But yeah, 18 energy. You haven't seen this many energies since like Prop 15.3 format, which was a long time ago. But there you go. That is the deck. That is Reshizard. Then this is the deck that I probably would have played had I played in that season. As fire, big damage is more my thing. Right? I absolutely love this. Reshiram Charizard. You got a Heatran here. Turtonator, Victini, right? these are just such cool fire Pokemon, and yeah, I love this thing. So matchups wise, I have absolutely no idea. Like I said, I haven't played much of this, but I do believe this is a pretty good list. So, and yeah, this is Deck Profile Friday. Don't forget to check out the past Deck Profile Fridays, which are awesome, and then opening Sundays, and then gameplay Wednesdays as well. Those happen on those days respectively. And if you like what you're hearing and seeing, then give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, as you know, that's my whole goal with this, is to produce you know, content that can help people, you know, get into the game, and obviously you know, for myself, right, to, you know, grow my channel. And yeah, hope you all have a good day, and once again, see you in the next video.